What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of True Life Vlogs with your host, me. Now, the story that I want to tell you today happened about 7 years ago, I want to say. It's about a dude named Ricky. And Ricky was one of my good friends growing up and everything. Like, he was one of those kids that was kind of like an outcast and everything. But I loved hanging out with him because, you know, like, we had common interests, you know, like Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, you know, Star Wars, you know, just dumb shit like that. And, you know, we had common interests and everything. So I became friends with him early on, growing up, and then, like, later on, I introduced him to some of my other friends, and, you know, they accepted him for the most part and everything. But Ricky was a fucking idiot. Like, Ricky was bad. Like, Ricky was so fucked in the head. Like, Ricky kind of looked like, that one that Sneevil-looking kid from fucking Recess, you know, the one that's hunched over and everything. He looked like that, okay? And it was so fucking weird. But the thing about him is, though, like, Ricky was just, he wasn't a horrible person. He was just dumb, and he was just bad half the time. So, one thing about Ricky that always stood out to me was that he had a stutter. He had Tourette's, and it wasn't like a normal Tourette's. Just thinking about it's making me laugh. It wasn't like a normal Tourette's, you know. It was like one of those swearing Tourette's where they just, like, it'd be totally calm. Like, I'll give you an example. One time we were sitting in a teacher of mine called Miss Daly's class, and we're just sitting there in pure silence and everything, right? Because everyone's working on their work and everything. And then all of a sudden you hear, "Fuck! Shit! Cunt!" And we, like, turn around. And Ricky sat right behind me, so this was, like, really loud. Ricky sat behind me, and I kind of just looked at him. I was like, dude, what the fuck? Well, see, the thing was, though, he had to take medicine for it to be under control and everything. And sometimes I would actually go get the medicine for him because, you know, I was good friends with him and everything. And the teachers loved me there, so, you know, they were fucking cool with it. They didn't really give a shit, you know. And I would walk Ricky, you know, when he needed to get his medicine or if he ever forgot. And Ricky was just one of those guys, like, he's not fucked, and I feel bad for him, you know, and I still love him to death and everything. But he's just one of those guys, it's just like, you love hanging out with him, but at the same time, you know, it's kind of like, oh my fuck, why am I hanging out with him? But you just can't help but laugh sometimes. So, you know, there were many occurrences when that happened, like sometimes in the morning on the bus and everything, you know, like if he forgot to take his medicine in the morning, you know, he would just be sitting there like, fuck, shit, cunt, ass, you know, just spouting off random swear words. Well, I remember one specific time, Ricky was actually in two of my classes. He was in my world history class, and he was in my math class. And both of those were at the end of the day, so we kind of had like a routine worked out where, you know, I would walk with him and everything to the office upstairs, and then we would come back down to class. Well, number one, we had a sub, okay? And number two, we forgot. Like, both of us literally just forgot that day because we were just having so much fun that day. And we literally both forgot. So we're sitting there in my world history class, and our teacher's not there. We got a sub, and he's just sitting there, and he does it again. He's like, fuck, you know, just out of the blue. And I was sitting there, and he was like 3 rows across from me. I was like, damn it. I was like, shit, I forgot to take him up to the office to get his medicine. So the substitute teacher, you know, she gets all pissy and everything. So I got to explain to her. I was like, no, he really does have Tourette's. Like, this is something that he has and everything, right? I was like, if we go get his medicine and everything. Well, they thought I was bullshitting. Well, she thought I was bullshitting, and she thought Ricky was bullshitting too. But because Ricky had fucked up, she sent him to the office, right? And I had to take him up there and everything because I was one of the hall monitor people that could walk with people if they needed to get something, you know. So I was stuck with Ricky. And we had this principal, right? She was a nice lady, but I never really engaged with her that much. But I knew her enough, you know, that, you know, I could strike a conversation with her if she so did that. And this principal looked at me. She's all like, "Ricky forget to take his medicine?" I was like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Where's he at?" I was like, "He's outside and everything. He's just sitting outside." And then she's all like, "Well, hey, Ricky, you forget to take your medicine, bud?" He's like, yeah. She's like, all right, well, give me a second. I'll go get it out of the nurse's cabinet and everything, and you'll be fine. And I literally, he looked at me right as she was saying this, and then he looked back at the teacher or the principal, looked back at the principal and said, okay, fucking cunt! You know? And she kind of just looked at, he's like, I am so sorry and everything, and she just passes, you know, she just brushed it off and walks along, goes getting his medicine. He looked at me, he's all like, I really think she's a fucking cunt. I did that on purpose. I was like, oh my god. I was like, Ricky, you're gonna get us killed. And then another instant where Ricky kind of fucked up again. Now this time he had actually taken his medicine, so he was good throughout the entire day. And in my world history class, we were learning about Japan. And this was cool because you know, it was just fun to learn about, you know? Like, the culture was cool and everything, you know, the cooking was cool and everything, you know, and just the genuine history of Japan is awesome. Fuck, I'm sounding like a weeaboo right now. But, no, learning about Japan was really cool, and one of the cool things that we did was the fact that we all got to go on a field trip to a Japanese buffet. And it was really dope because it was all paid for, we can get as much as we want, and we hung out there for what seemed like 4 hours, you know, like it was just a fantastic time. Me and all the boys, you know, we got a table and everything, we were sitting there having a good time, cracking jokes, you know, trying to flirt with the waitresses even though we were shitty at flirting at the time, and everything. I mean, it was pretty dope. And what was cool about it was, at the buffet also, you had the option to cook your own food and everything, so, you know, that was fun on its own and everything. Well, it's about 20 minutes before we leave, right? Ricky ate too much food. And Ricky's all like, well, I gotta go shit. I'll be right back. And I was like, alright, cool, whatever, dude. I was like, just remember, we're leaving in 20 minutes and everything. So, about 15 minutes passed by. We got 5 minutes to leave, so we're getting everyone together, you know, getting, you know, all the mess cleaned up. And we had to stick with our group and everything. And my teacher, Miss Collin, she actually did a head count of us and everything, and she's like, who are we missing? And I looked down the line, I was like, I think we're missing Ricky, Miss C. She's like, well, you know where he's at? And I was all like, I think he's still in the bathroom. Well, the bathroom was down the hall, so I went to go get him and everything, and I kind of stood at the door and everything, and I pushed it open to make sure it wasn't one of those single bathrooms, so I pushed it open. It was one of the big bathrooms with the stalls in it, and I knocked on the door. I was like, hey, Ricky, you in here? He's like, yeah, man. I was like, alright, man, well, you know, hurry up. We're leaving in 5 minutes and everything, right? He's like, okay, man, cool. So, I'm waiting there outside the bathroom and everything. A couple minutes pass, and we're literally like 2 minutes away from leaving. So I'm sitting out there, you know, just waiting on Ricky. All of a sudden, my buddy Eric comes up. And Eric was one of the bigger dudes. Eric, he looked at me, he's like, you still waiting on Ricky? I was like, yeah, I don't know if he's got the shits or constipated or what, man. He's like, well, did you check on him? I was like, yeah, 5 minutes ago. Everything. He's like, well, let's make sure he's not dead, you know? So, we go in there, and he's like, Ricky, hurry the fuck up. We need to leave and everything. And he's all like, hold on, boys, I'm not done yet. And we both walk up to the stall and everything, right? And Eric's all like, Ricky, if you don't hurry the fuck up, I'm gonna kick this door in, right? He's like, you got 10 seconds. Well, the 10 seconds pass, and Eric's all like, fuck it. And like I said, he was one of those bigger dudes, so he could get the kick on it, you know? Like, he could get the massive kick on it. So he fucking kicks this door open, right? Breaks the fucking hinge. And not only that, we were treated to the grand sight of Ricky fucking jacking off. And I mean, we caught him mid-jack-off, right about to come, and he just, oh, fuck! And just, like, it gets all over his hand and everything. I mean, it was fucked up. Like, seriously. And we were like, oh, Jesus Christ, come on, man! Like, seriously, we didn't need to see that. So, yeah, Ricky walks out. He's all red in the face, and the funniest damn thing happened. He's all red in the face, and the funniest fucking thing happens, other than him jacking off and exploding on his hand. The funniest thing happens, he literally walks up to the cook, right? Because the cook came out, and, you know, I guess he just wanted to say, you know, thanks and everything, thanks for supporting the restaurant, and thanks for having a field trip here. Ricky walks up to the dude with his sticky cum hand and literally shakes this dude's hand and then walks off. And me and Eric, we were like, oh no. We were like, what the fuck, man? So, yeah, Ricky, like I said, he was bad, but at the same time, he was just kind of fucking stupid, you know? So, yeah, that was one of was one of the better memories, surprisingly. So thank you everyone so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. God, that was fucked up.